Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special edition that focuses on New Year and New Year resolutions, new dreams, new hopes, and everything related, with the perks that Ethiopians have had, with the celebration of the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar. Everybody will have his or her own plans, whether it's for the Julian calendar or the Gregorian calendar. What does New Year resolution, the determination and the will looks like? In order to explain this and many more, I've got you the one and only Dawit Dreams. He is a motivational speaker as well as a life coach. Dawit Dreams, thank you for blessing us with your time.
Thank you.
So with the concept of New Year resolution and everything related, we have the perk of planning, whether we call it through the Julian calendar or through the Gregorian calendar. We have the perks. New Year resolutions can be done throughout both the challenges. So do you have the culture of this New Year resolution?
Now I don't have any New Year resolutions because for me every day is a new year. New day, new year. So if you notice, if you go back to 2014, everybody set new resolutions. They said this year we're going to do this, we're going to do that. 2013 the same thing, 2012. But how many people lived up to the resolution? How many people accomplished what they said?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. So, we're giving too much load to the new year. I mean, every day is a new day. So the fact that now is New Year is good because people, when it was May or June or March, if you ask somebody to set a dream and achieve the dream, they say, no, I'm going to start New Year. Somebody wants to get married, they say New Year. Somebody wants to stop a bad habit, start a good one, New Year. Somebody wants to do something, New Year. Too much load has been loaded on the New Year. But we're so focused on the new year that we have forgot that every day is a new year. I mean, if you're breathing, right? You're alive. So today morning when you wake up, okay, today morning is already gone. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, it's a big blessing. It's a huge blessing. So we should be grateful. So if there is still air in my nostrils, I'm alive. And as long as I'm alive, the biggest thing in this planet is to be alive. I mean, if you're not alive, it doesn't matter what kind of a resolution you have, it's pointless. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how many problems you have, what resolutions you made. If you're not alive, you're not alive. So the biggest gift that we have is life. We're alive. So if you're alive today, why do you have to wait for a new year to come? So we need to wake up every morning and act as if it's a new year. Now we can learn a lot from the new years. For example, the Ethiopian New Year, the seasons change, the flowers bloom. There are so many beautiful things that come during the new year. But we can recreate that feeling, that atmosphere every day. So the fact that it's new year, I'm so happy and grateful. But I want people to be aware that this week is going to go. This new year vibe is going to go. And people are going to go back to the same old boring life. I mean, don't celebrate life once a year. Let's celebrate it every day, every minute, every second.
Awesome. That's a new paradigm and a new way of viewing it. I want you to explain your view and your take on the Ethiopian culture of New Year resolutions. I know we Ethiopians mostly focus on New Year resolutions, whether to go to the gyms when the first week of the new year comes, and curbing a new the habits that we had, or starting a new habit, and then mostly it fails to be bound to be resolution. So what's your take on that?
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
All right.
Let me be the reporter now.
All right, go ahead.
What's your New Year resolution?
I don't have one.
Why not?
Because I'm living every day.
You're living every day. So why do you want other people to have a New Year resolution?
Because that's the culture. That's the culture that it has been accepted generally.
So if the culture is working, why don't you set one?
I wish I want to, but my concept is not getting sentimental to the New Year resolution, but working on everyday activities and everyday plans, and being thankful to each and every day's experience.
So that's the fact. I mean, when I was a child, when we come to this planet, we don't have any paradigm, we don't have a culture. A culture is a paradigm anyway. A paradigm is an individual paradigm. A group paradigm is called culture. So we need to check our paradigm, what kind of paradigm we have, what kind of culture we have. Now, every culture has its own beautiful good sides. We take that. It has some bad sides, we remove that. So when we were born, we were programmed to look at New Year's with a different vibe. So the celebration, the changing of the season, the happy times, that's beautiful. So we continue that. But instead of changing today, using the New Year as an excuse not to change today, that's very dangerous. There was a guy, I usually talk about this guy now. It was in 2012, Ethiopian calendar 2012. It was on a Tuesday. I think the New Year was on a Thursday. So on Tuesday I was giving a session and I said, he was sitting so bored. When you look at him, you feel that he had a bad day. He didn't have a bad day, it's just his default face. People have default faces. Some people, their default face is happy and grateful. Some people, their default face is they always act as if something bad has happened to them early in the morning. So I didn't like his energy. I said, why do you have this energy? It's a waste of time. Why don't you come and join the session? He said, no, Dawit, now I got your training. I understand what you're doing. I'm going to change. I promise you. 2012 New Year is coming. I'm going to show you. He said a lot of things. I said, okay. That was on a Tuesday. So Wednesday came. He didn't change because it's New Year's Eve. So he went out partying, celebrating. He was having fun. Thursday came. It's holiday. People are eating, drinking. He was having fun. And what's left over from Thursday jumped to Friday. And then it's the weekends. Who transforms himself on a weekend? So the weekends just passed by. On a Monday morning, when I came, he was at his default face. He was so broken. I said, I thought you said you were going to change on the New Year. Yeah, but for me, the weekends don't work. But trust me, Dawit, I'm going to show you. October the 1st, I'm going to be a new version of me. And then we met on October. He said, the Ethiopian calendar doesn't work for me. I'm going to try January 1. And the same thing. So I usually talk about him sometime during an interview. I was doing a TV interview. I talk about him in all the classes. Finally, I forgot who that guy was. I talk about the story, but I forgot who, because I use so many examples and illustrations. Over the years, I forgot who he was. So I was going on TV and talking about that guy, but I never remembered who that guy was. Then when I came back to the office, I found him. He was on a Monday morning. The TV show aired on a Sunday. So he saw that on a Sunday. On a Monday morning, he came. And he was so angry at me. And he said, now you're talking about me. You're taking my secrets to the public. You're talking about me to TV. And that hurt him in a good way. And he changed. That time he didn't expect a new year and a new day, a new story. He just changed. So you just need to change. If you want to change your life, change you. You want to change your life, just change you. Start changing you. When people want to change themselves, they're waiting for the year to change. They're waiting for the day to change. They're waiting for their money to change, their husband to change, their wife to change, the government to change, the prime minister to change, somebody to change. It's good if they change. What if they don't change? What if the year doesn't change? What if the day doesn't change? What if the country doesn't change? What if your wife doesn't change or your husband doesn't change? I mean, the outside world, you might change it, you might not change it. It's the outside. But the inside is you. So why worry about the outside when you can work on the inside? Change the inside. When you change the inside and you live inside out, you're going to create your own world. Most people are living outside in. We need to start living inside out. You see, if you live outside in, it's New Year, you're happy, you're joyful, you're pleasant, you're having fun. But on a Monday morning when they tell you to go to work, you say, oh, I'm tired. So are you changing by the day, or do you have your own personal peace, abundance, prosperity? You know, do you have your own characters, your default behaviors? You know, our default behaviors we just inherited. We inherited our paradigm from our parents and the people who had major influences on us. Now, whatever they influenced, we've become. Do you like it? Is it helping you grow? So if it's working for you, keep it. Otherwise, change it. So whatever culture we inherited, we just take the good sides. Whatever we need to improve, we improve. So New Year, celebrations, happy days, new beginning, that's beautiful. However, if you don't change, nothing is going to change.
Awesome way of presenting it. But when it comes to those people who will have those plans and resolutions, and then they needed that push, that energy, that will and determination in order to bring those resolutions to come to true terms, what does that take in order to have that push, that willingness, and then that determination? What does it take?
I always define success in three ways. Success is three things. I learned this from Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor learned it from Earl Nightingale, and then he improved it, and then I improved it. Success is three things. First, you got to know where you are, and then you got to decide where you want to go, and then you got to go from where you are to where you want to go. Now, the biggest thing is most people don't know where they are. So they're talking about new resolutions, think they're going to do in the new year, but right now they don't know where they are. Most people don't know where they are. So I'm not talking about physically. Some people, they don't know where they are physically. Let's take the physical out to save time. But people don't know where they are spiritually, emotionally. How are you? Where are you? Where are you when it comes to your personal peace, grows? Where's your family? I mean, how do you communicate with your family? When you go home, is your family excited? Do they light up when they see you? Or is it like, oh my goodness, he's coming, you know, he's gonna ruin our day, you know? Some people you have to guess, you know, sometimes when it's New Year or something, they're joyous, they're happy, they're excited. And other days when you find them, their faces look as something bad has happened, even though something bad hasn't happened. So the next day they come, you have to guess, you know, is this guy going to behave on good mood or on bad mood? So where are you? Where is the level of your communication when it comes to your family, to your business? When you go to the office, what kind of a person are you? Are you average? Are you phenomenal? Are you amazing? Are you bad? Are you poor? How about your finances? Where's your finances? So first, you need to check where you are and accept who you are for what you are. You know, people come to dreams and we say, I'm amazing, life is amazing. So they are so pumped up and they go home and they want to change their family, and their family says, what amazing, you're the most average person I know. And they get pissed off. And so if you let the outside world tell you who you are, you don't know who you are. So you need to settle down, look for who you are, where you are, what results you got, and accept yourself for what you've got. And be happy with it. I mean, whatever results you have, they might be bad. Maybe you're losing. Maybe you're on the wrong track, but first, know where you are and accept it. And be grateful. Because no matter how bad, it could have been worse. Somebody came and said, Dawit, I lost $1 million in business. I said, you should be grateful. He said, why? Because you could have lost 2 million. You're sad that you lost 1 million. How do you become grateful? I could have lost 2 million because I lost 5 million birr. So accept where you are and be happy with it. Be grateful about it. Now you have a very stable foundation. Then you say, what do I want to do? Success is first knowing where you are and deciding where you want to go. So where do you want to go? Now talk about the resolution or the dream or the goal. I mean, if you're not stable right now, the dream is something that's going to happen tomorrow or after tomorrow, after a year, after 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But you got to live now. You got to live now. Let me give you a good example. Somebody wanted to buy a car 5 years ago, and he just bought it after 5 years. So he has postponed his happiness for 5 years. He said, I'm going to be happy when I buy a car. You know, that's what's happening. I'm going to change when the new year comes. I'm going to be happy when I buy a car. So it took him 5 years to buy the car. 5 years, he was not joyful. He was not pleasant. He was not excited. He bought the car. He was so excited. He was going everywhere, and he was doing, he was punching the horn and telling people, I bought a new car. He was so excited. But after a week, that excitement was lost. And he went back to his default sad face. And when I asked why, he said, I'm going to buy a home, then I'm going to be happy. So people are thinking they're going to be happy when it's New Year. They're going to be pleasant when they buy a car. They're going to be successful when they do that. What if you wait 5 years and you get the car and you're not happy? You know, if happiness came when you buy a car, all people with cars would be happy. All people with homes would be happy. All people with buildings would be happy. All people with money would be happy. So these things don't come on material things. Happiness is a choice. So first, be happy with what you have. Be grateful. When you wake up, are you alive? Be grateful. You're happy. And then you say, what do I want to do? What do I want to do next? What do I want to do this year? What do I want to accomplish this year? And you decide that. For example, when I was running a cafe and restaurant somewhere around here, the government started the railway project, and I lost 5 million birr. So when I lost the 5 million birr, the first thing I had to do was I had to sit down, because before that I was just worrying. Everybody was calling me, and they were saying, where's the money? Where's my money? Where's my money? And I was saying, if I knew where the money was, I would give it to you. But I didn't have the money. So the first thing that I had to do was I had to sit down and calculate my losses. When I added up, it's 5 million. I was so scared. I was so confused. I wanted to die. But I said, thank you. I'm grateful, because it's not 6 million. You know, gratitude doesn't mean that you don't have problems. It's just a way of saying, let the pain stop here, because it could have been worse. But then I set a dream. I said, I'm Dawit Dreams. I'm transforming Ethiopia and Africa, and I'm making 1 million birr a month. That was a crazy idea. I mean, I wrote it on a card. I always carry the card with me. This is a card. I wrote it here. So when I wrote it here, I read it every day. It's always loose in my pocket, so I read it every day. Anyone that read the card was They were always making fun of me. They were always making joke of me.
It seems like it's too good to be true, huh?
Yes. I mean, I didn't believe it. Nobody believed it. But I was reading it every day, and I was thinking about every day. You know, after a while, I changed. Before that, I was a person of debt. All I thought was debt. Everybody that called me was debt. Everything that I did was connected to debt. Now, when I said I'm Dawit Dreams, I'm transforming Ethiopia and Africa, and I'm making $1 million a month, something changed. I mean, the way I thought changed. I started thinking about $1 million. No, I give this training to people. Somebody is making 5,000, and I want to say, how much do you want to make? They say, I want to make 100,000. And I say, okay, write it down and think about that. When they do that, they change. Because before you do that, all you think about is 5,000. Somebody who makes 5,000 a day, when they wake up, they think about 5,000. When they go to work, they give the service of 5,000. The service that they give is related to 5,000. Now, somebody whose salary is 5,000, if you give them an opportunity of 50,000, they say, I mean, people have this thinking like, if you want me to give you more, pay me more. Pay me more and I will do more. No, that's not how it works. Give more and you will receive more. The more you give, the more you receive. The general thinking that I see in people is, pay me more, then I will do more. Do more and you will receive more. So somebody who believes I'm a 5,000 person, if you give him something of an opportunity of something that's worth 20,000, he doesn't want to do it unless you pay him 20,000. But if you have a dream and you say, I'm going to get 1 million, I'm going to get 100,000, something, now that idea changes your personality, and instead of working for money, you want to give more services, you want to give better services to people. So it doesn't, for me, I don't care how much you pay me. You know, most of the sessions that I give everywhere in Ethiopia, not only Addis Ababa, I don't care how much you pay. Most of the sessions, people don't even pay. I go and I train. It doesn't matter if you pay me lots of money or no money at all. I give service. You know, the best way to make money is you give the best service. If you give the best service, you're going to get the best reward. I don't negotiate. Whatever businesses that we have, they have set prices. You can take it or leave it. If you don't have the money, we might give it to you for free. When I go to shops, I don't negotiate. If somebody says this is 200, I don't say give it to me for 100, because I am undermining his service. But if that person is not worth it, if they're not worth the money, if they try to cheat me, I don't go there for a second time. But I'm always giving 100% service. So coming back to our point, you set a big dream and you act like it. When you think you're making 5,000, you want to make $1 million per month. I'm not saying your dream should be 1 million. I'm not saying it should be 5,000. I'm not saying 100,000. I said success is first knowing where you are, being happy about it, and deciding where you want to go. So where do you want to go? Maybe you are right now at 5,000 and you want to go to 1 million or maybe 100,000. It's up to you. How much do you believe in yourself? How much do you believe you can do? So if you set your goal or your dream to be 100,000, while you're earning 5,000, you gotta act as if you're earning 100,000. When you speak as if you're earning 100,000. When you act, your act should be 100,000. When you work, you should work. When you become being, when you're in a state of being, when you act as if your dream has come true, everything that you need to make your dream come true is going to come. This is called decision. Decision is, most people don't decide to make their dream a reality because they don't know how to make the dream a reality, or they don't know where the people, the money, the resources are going to come to help them make the dream a reality. Now, this is what we call decision. Decision is you decide, while you're making 5,000, you decide, I'm going to improve myself, I'm going to change myself, and I'm going to make 100,000 birr every month. And you become like it. When you wake up, your thoughts are on a level of 100,000. So you've decided. You've said, I am earning 100,000 a month. So once you decide, all the people, all the money, all the ideas that will help you to get 100,000 are going to come to you. If you haven't decided, the people that are going to come to you are the people who are making 5,000. The ideas that are going to come to you are of 5,000. Even if 100,000 idea comes, you're not going to listen. Somebody who's making 5,000 a month, he's working tired, my salary is not enough, the economy is growing, the Nuro Dinnet is killing me, he's complaining. And if I come on the way and say, you know what, I have a business of 100,000, are you interested? Oh, he would say, no, leave me alone. Let me die with my 5,000, If you are in the state of complaining, something beautiful comes up, you're not going to see. So wherever you are, accept it and be happy. And then set a dream. So big, so beautiful.
So 2014, Ethiopian calendar, it had some challenges and difficulties, starting with the conflict in the north and then the inflation, the price rise. How do you describe the impact it has on the society so that they could be counting their blessings in whatever form that they are?
So when you say counting your blessings, it doesn't mean you forget it doesn't mean you ignore the problems that have happened, because 50% of the solution is identifying the problem. So we said success is first knowing where you are. So where are we in Ethiopia? We need to know where we are. Ethiopia is a rich country. It's a prosperous, beautiful country. You hear people talking about there is no land, there is no space, but if you're flying within Ethiopia or even internationally, you can see that we're living in a dot. Ethiopia is so huge and big. If you look down, the whole of Ethiopia is empty, but there are dots. The cities are like dots. Have you noticed?
Of course.
The whole of Ethiopia is free. We're just overpopulated in tiny dots. And because we're too populated in a few areas, we think that we have used the whole of Ethiopia. Sometimes when I think about it, the land of Ethiopia is enough not only for Ethiopians, but for Africans. Don't you agree?
True.
So we have a beautiful country, big land, 110 million people, that's wealth, that's a big wealth. If 110 million people operate from the sense of love and unity and prosperity, imagine where we can go. So in the 21st century, where the world is traveling to space, Elon Musk and Richard Branson, they're saying we need to take vacations on the moon, we need to explore the space. And we've sent a satellite called James Webb, which has gone 1 million miles or something, or 1.5 kilometers, I'm not sure on the numbers, and it's taking pictures during this time. And also when Corona is coming and creating a lot of challenge, instead of working as one people and growing and transforming Ethiopia and Africa, we went one step backwards, fighting with each other. No one is doing that in the 21st century. And when the war in Ukraine and Russia broke out, we import wheat from Ukraine. Now, Ukraine, their weather condition allows them to harvest once a year. In Ethiopia, some farmers tell me that we can do it twice or 3 times a year. We have the land, we have the wells, we have the resource, but we still import from Ukraine. They can do it once, we can do it 3 times. They should be importing from Ethiopia, but we're importing from Ukraine. So we're misguided. We're too busy. We're too busy hating each other. We're too busy labeling each other, differentiating ourselves based on race, all those things, behavior and so life gives you lessons. Life is a lesson. Life is a big school. It's the best education ever, you know. In school, you got first grade and they give you an exam. If you don't pass the exam, they don't let you go to second year. If you don't pass the second year exam, they don't let you go to third year. So life has given us a test and we failed. On the 21st century, just like all the other years, we went to war with each other. And at a time when we should transform Africa and the world, we went to war amongst ourselves. And if we don't pass this test, life is not going to get easy. Now everybody is surprised. Oh, no, everything is getting so expensive. You know, if you don't if we don't learn to love each other, it's going to keep going. The way the inflation is going right now is scary, and if we don't get the point, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep getting worse until we get it, until we understand the way of love and unity and prosperity and well-being. Until we get that concept, we're going to get punished. So let's observe. You know, let's observe. Let's go off all ego, all this race, tribe, or whatever mess that we've created. I mean, I go to trainings and I ask people, what's your behavior, or do we call your ethnicity? Thank you. And they say this. I say, can you show me? I mean, where do I identify your... you know, you can take blood from somebody and you can get their DNA, and you can tell who their father is, you can tell who their grandfather is, you can also tell who their great-grandfather was 1,000 years ago. But where do you get the race? The race is, there is a saying in Ethiopia, it's from our fathers or forefathers. Okay, we want to talk about fathers, forefathers, let's go back. Who do we find? You know, the whole of Africa came from 4
categories of
yeah, maybe ethnicity or something. And if you go up the ladder, there is Noah. No, so your father, your forefather, and my forefather is Noah, whether you like it or not. And if you go a little bit further, you find Adam and Eve. So it's not that we have the same race, we also have the same father and mother. So we come from the same, not only Ethiopia, the entire planet is one ethnicity, one tribe, one race. One human race. And if somebody says, no, Dawit, I don't believe in Adam and Eve, then your forefathers are monkeys. So whether this way or that way, we're the same. So let's get this nonsense out of the way. If you and me can cooperate, work together in love, in harmony, in union, imagine where we can go. I mean, think about, since Corona, we started this nonsense before Corona. And Corona came and everybody was quiet, you know. Corona put us in place. Before Corona, this issue was starting. Corona came and everybody was afraid. Everybody was quiet. And then when Corona was under control, we started these things back again. And look where we've got. So did we benefit from this war and everything, or were we harmed? Never.
There's no solution because of conflict.
Yeah. So the point is, are we going to learn from it? I mean, if a husband and wife, they fight, they don't say it's my fault. The husband says it's my wife's fault, and the wife says the husband's fault. Now even this war is the same thing. Everybody is blaming someone, and that someone is blaming someone. So we gotta say it stops with me. You know, I'm taking responsibility. The war stops with me. I'm going to make peace in this country because we're all gonna go. We're all gonna go. You know, we're not gonna be here for 1,000,000 years. Maximum a human being lives 100 years. So some of us, we only have 10, 20, 30, maximum 50 years to live, especially people in power, people in government, people with the opposition parties. Everybody, you have 10 years, 20 years, max 30, 50 years. Do you want to be the person who destroyed Ethiopia, who destroyed his own people? We take too much pride on who we are. We're nobody. We're just a pop-up in this planet. We just popped in and we're going to pop out anyway. So before we pop out, are we going to leave the country better than we found it? Are we going to improve it? Are we going to create a history of peace, prosperity, unity? That's the question. This is a question that we really need to think of. If we want to change Ethiopia, we need to change ourselves. I need to change me. I need to change my family. I need to change the people around me. You know, usually people of some ethnicity are blaming the leader of another ethnicity. And that leader of that ethnicity is blaming somebody else. No. Let's stop this. If I'm going to change, I have to change. If my ethnicity has to change, my ethnicity has to change. If my country has got to change, I got to focus on me. I have to make me the best Dawit possible. I've got to make my ethnicity the most Ethiopian possible. I mean, let's stop working on transforming our wife. Let's stop working on transforming our neighbors. Let's stop working on transforming other ethnicity. Whatever our country we want our country to change to, let's first change to that. If we want our country to be loved, let me be loved. I should not point fingers at you. I should point fingers. I should be loved first. I should be unity first. I was working with somebody who works with the Ministry of Peace, and he was telling me how difficult it is to make Ethiopia peace. And I said, are you at peace? You yourself, are you at peace? So this is a question that we need to ask. We want to make Ethiopia peace, but you, first you, are you at peace with yourself? Are you at peace with your wife, with your neighbors? How can you give something you don't have? If I'm not peace, I'm not going to give you peace. If I'm not peace, I'm not give my country peace. If I don't have peace, I'm not going to give my ethnicity peace. If my ethnicity doesn't have peace with itself, it's not going to give peace to Ethiopia. If Ethiopia doesn't have peace, Ethiopia is not going to give peace to Africa. So we live in a beautiful time. I mean, the resources that we have is so beautiful. The access that we have, the technologies that we have is so beautiful, and it's really sad that we're wasting it, killing each other and going to war and damaging people, hurting ourselves, and going back to history. I mean, this is a century. It's the time of the cosmos. It's the time where we explore space, where we explore the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, the universe. And we're still not able to live in peace among ourselves. So it's a shame. It's time to act immediately. So people have been saying we're going to change at the new year. Here we go. You got the new year. Don't come up with another excuse. Now is the time not to change Ethiopia, but to change yourself. Make yourself peace, blessed, smart working, intelligent, smart, all the good qualities that you believe you want to become. Now is the time to become. So when you do that, your family is going to automatically change. You know, parents are always telling their children, you should do this, you should do that. Shut up. Children are not listening to what you say. They're just observing what you do. When you change, they change. So change yourself. Your children are automatically going to be drawn to you to change. Your neighbors, your community, your ethnicity, your country is going to change. So it's time to get our fingers out of other people and transform ourselves.
Awesome. That's so powerful. I believe you are an optimistic person, and there are various reasons for you to be optimistic. And one of my reasons to be optimistic is the national dialogue. So the country and the government has started this scheme of national dialogue. So the effort is awesome with the starting and everything. So what's your take on the national dialogue? And then how best can we use it towards our own advantage?
So one thing I don't do is I don't know anything about politics, so my comments on politics are worthless. I mean, I don't follow the politics.
With the whole concept of dialogue and connection and talking to each other to solve.
I mean, there are experts on this, so they should comment on it because I don't follow it 100%. My politics is how to change me. My politics is how to change you, how to change the person that's listening. I mean, the person that's listening can be someone who's just a kid or a teenager, a dad and mom, or someone in high politics power or something. So it doesn't matter who you are. Stop changing the country. Stop leading the dialogue. Stop. Be the best you. Be the best you. You know, be the best peace that you can be. Be the best love that you can be. Be the best unity that you want to be. I mean, whatever I want for my country, if I become it, that's the biggest thing I can do. So, you know, when I do that, my family automatically changes. My company automatically changes. I tried this, you know. A few years back, in my company, when people were not doing what they were supposed to do, I was fighting with them. I was fighting. You should change. You need to change. You have to change. Why don't you change? We have to change. Then I saw that it wasn't working. You know, when you're trying to change people who don't want to change, they change you along the way. So what I did was I left them. And I just focused on myself. When I focused on myself, the people who wanted to change followed me and changed. So that's a way to change. I don't know anything about politics, but I know about how humans work. When you make the best of you, when you make you the best that you can become, the best of what has come to you is going to come to you. So usually when I don't follow the news, you know, somebody came and said, Dawit, you don't follow the news, you don't read Facebook, you don't read YouTube, you don't, you're not on the news, and you say you're gonna change Ethiopia and Africa. That's not true. I said, do you follow Facebook? He said yes. Do you follow YouTube? Yes. Do you follow all the TV news and everything? Yes. Do you follow the politics? Yes. And I said, what have you done to change yourself and your family, let alone Ethiopia and Africa? I said nothing. I said, shut up. I don't follow the news. I don't know the politics. But I've transformed my life. I've transformed my family's life. I've transformed my company's life. And I've trained over 2 million people to this day over the past 7 years all over Ethiopia. I've done my best to give people hope that we're going to do better. So my focus is on what I can do, not on what the government should do. The government is doing what they should do. The people who are on the negotiations are doing what they do. But I should not be just, in Amharic I call it Maikafalo Gazetenya. There are people from media who are doing their responsibility, but everybody is just talking about what Abiy did, what somebody else did. Dr. Abiy is going to do what he's going to do, but are you doing what you're supposed to do? So whether you're a leader or a student or anything. If you want to change anything, change you. So people in the dialogue is, there will be a story that you guys need to do this, you guys need to do this. If we stop telling other people what they should do, and if we listen to our own advice, if I listen to my own advice, I grow. Whatever I'm saying, when it's recorded, I'm going to check it out, and if I listen to my own advice, I can do much better than I'm doing. That's what I do. I started listening to my own advice, so I want to advise everybody to start listening to their own advice. So when you know when you do what you already know, there is room for more learning, more knowing, more doing, and more growth. So instead of telling other parties, other officials to do this, if you want them to be peaceful, be peaceful. If you want them to be more loving, be more loving. If you want them more to pay more sacrifices, pay more sacrifices. Because it's clearly obvious that we are one Ethiopia. There is no question about that. Where does this idea come from? It's just a pointless idea that we are dividing ourselves. There is no reason for us to fight. We should reach for Africa, let alone Ethiopia. So we're fighting over silly ideas. Now what we need to do is find the truth. The truth, we're one, but we're fighting for silly reasons. We're at war for silly reasons. So when we come back to ourselves and ask ourselves, what do we want from Ethiopia? What do we want from those people? And when we become those things, already our country is transformed.
Awesome. Final question. What's your hope for Ethiopia and Ethiopians in this up and coming new year?
When 2003 came as a new year, everybody was excited. 2014, everybody was excited. But there have been so many challenges. The war, the corona, so many things. I believe we've learned. We've learned the lesson. We've learned the lesson that life is too short, too fragile, and we're not here for a million years. Very, very short period of time. We have just popped in, we're going to pop out. Before we pop out, we need to do something beautiful. We need to write history. And we're going to write history if we become the best version of ourselves. So let's forgive each other. Let's forgive and forget, let go, and create a new start, a fresh start. Let's get the lesson that life is teaching us. If we're one, if we're united, we're not going to only change Ethiopia, we can transform Africa and the planet. Every Ethiopian is proud of being Ethiopian. But what we have right now doesn't constitute to pride. It's sad. Now, if you're going to be proud in the 21st century, the way to become a hero, the way to become a country is not by war, it's by peace, it's by prosperity, it's by love, it's by compassion, it's by helping others. And we know that it's in every Ethiopian, wherever you go. The love of Ethiopians is in heart, in blood, it's everywhere. And everybody feels good when they're in love, when they're in peace, when everybody likes that. Nobody hates anybody, it's just some silly reasons that we go to war with each other. Now we've learned that doesn't work. Let's take the lesson to heart. Let's forgive each other. What has been done is done. What's done is done. It is what it is. Forgive it and forget it. But we can start fresh now. We can start new and create a better Ethiopia, create a better Africa, and leave history. So after we leave this planet, we have history from our forefathers. After so many years, some people are going to come and talk about this generation. They're going to talk about you and me and the entire of Ethiopia. Let's leave a history where they will be proud of. Let's not make them be ashamed because we were at war with each other. Let's make them proud because we work together not only to transform Ethiopia, but Eritrea, Kenya, Sudan, Djibouti, and East Africa, whole Africa, and the world. You know, I dream of Ethiopia where you need DV to come in, you need visas to come in. My big dream is to make $1. Why not? You know, all the resources, all the politics that we're using, instead of fighting with each other, if we work with each other, we can make $1. When we make $1, for 10,000 birr, you can buy the most beautiful, fantastic car on the planet. For 5 cents, you can buy milk. That's the Ethiopia I dream of. Let's work for that.
That was so powerful. Thank you once again for making the time and give us all this insight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, beautiful. This is for you.
So that's all that we've got for you inside this special edition that focused on new dreams, new year, and new resolutions. Whether you have your own resolutions or not, get up there, get kicking, and start afresh. It's all your decision. That's all that we've got for you inside this special edition. Thank you for staying with us, and stay tuned for more from ETV English.